A few months ago, I had conversations with the guys at Rokfin as well as Martin Floriani. So why did I decide to turn down Rokfin? Let's stop stalling and start talking wrestling. What's going on, wrestling fans? My name's Josiah and welcome to the Fanco Wrestling YouTube channel. And just so you know, Fanco Wrestling is not leaving YouTube, but I am going to explain why I decided to turn down Rokfin and why I'm not heading over to the platform. At least I'm not heading over there right now, and I don't really have plans to anywhere in the near future. First of all, I have to say, I really enjoy Rokfin. I think it's a super cool platform with a lot of great content creators. I actually am a Rokfin subscriber myself, so this isn't a Rokfin bash video. Just let's get that clear right away. I'm just explaining why I personally am not on the platform. So Rokfin is a new website that's been growing up over the last year, 2 years, and Martin Floriani, if you don't know, is the creator and founder of Flow Wrestling, and then once he left Flow Wrestling, now he is over at Rokfin. He started that up as a new media company, and it's essentially a media company that he kind of sees as a competitor with Flow Wrestling, YouTube, other media platform services that pay their creators. And you may be thinking I'm making buku bucks on YouTube. I'm not. And a lot of other YouTube creators kind of feel that they're not making a crazy amount of money. So Martin Floriani decided he's going to make this new revenue model for his creators. Now, a lot of the creators on the website are wrestling based, like Willie Saylor, like Iowa Wrestle, and Tony Hager, as well as Wrestling Changed My Life and Ben Askren. There's a lot of great content there. So why did I decide that I don't want to be a part of that platform? Well, this kind of goes into a couple tier approach as far as I'm concerned, because there's a lot that goes into deciding whether you're going to go to a cost-based revenue model. Do I want to make my subscribers now go over to a new platform and pay money now to see me? And there is a free tier of Rokfin, so there's still free content available, but the base model for premium content is $9.99 a month. And yes, you would be getting some great content at $9.99 a month with all of these other creators included in that, as well as Fanco Wrestling. Where things kind of changed. Back a few months ago, you may remember doing the Fanco Wrestling census, where I asked you for your thoughts on the channel, where you would like to see the channel go moving forward. And a lot of your big concerns were that you don't want to pay $150 for Flow Wrestling or for other services. And that's completely understandable. You're on YouTube for a reason. You want this free content. That's, I guess, kind of my concern, is even if you're paying $9.99 a month and you're getting these other great creators, you're still having to pay that money. And like I said, there's a free model, but what happens there? Would I then be considered a sellout? Because, you know, that's a real thing that I'd be worried about. Even if I'm trying to make a living for myself and try to do new things and bring on new revenue models that I can grow this channel and, you know, potentially make this a full-time career in the future, but would I then be a sellout for doing that? And because I see what happens when other creators do those type of things. I'm not completely blind to that. I understand it. And I just don't think that, for me, that was the way to go moving forward. There's some other things and issues that I had with the service. I found the revenue model a little bit confusing. I also found that the SEO was just a little bit different than YouTube. Obviously, with Google backing YouTube, the biggest search engine optimization system in the entire world, that's what SEO stands for, and that's how my videos get out to a lot of new wrestling fans, is with that SEO. And that's something that, you know, I pride myself on knowing a lot about, and Rokfin just wasn't there yet for me to make that switch. And I think it's a good model for other people that want to go off of YouTube, that aren't understanding how YouTube works and want to go onto that, where you have a lot of wrestling fans already. But for me personally, it just wasn't the right way to go. And again, I like Rokfin. I think it's a really cool new service for wrestling fans to check out and just a lot more content. So where is Fanco Wrestling going moving forward? I think that's a very interesting question, and one that I now have a plan for thanks to the Fanco Wrestling census. Look, I believe in supporting the creators and the businesses that you care about. That's the small businesses, the local businesses in your area. That's the YouTube creators that don't necessarily have a big voice or are silenced by other people. Those are the people I put my dollars behind because I want to continue to see that content. And that's why I'm actually putting some additional content on Patreon. Now, before you freak out, I'm not changing anything on the Fanco Wrestling channel. You're still going to get these same great, amazing videos every single week. This is something additional, just a little bit more personal. And I will have another video explaining exactly what's going on with Patreon, but know this right now. Patreon is a new resource for you to get additional Fanco Wrestling content. A little bit more personal, behind the scenes things going on. So there's not going to be like any news videos on there that I'm not going to drop on the Fanco Wrestling channel. It's going to be essentially behind the scenes. What's going on behind the channel? What does my studio look like? What was some of my personal wrestling career? I'm going to show some matches on there and dive into some of the maybe old photos, different things from my personal career and things going on even in my personal life that I wouldn't necessarily feel comfortable sharing on my YouTube channel. And you can actually support me at any different level, and you're going to get different content, as well as the first 40 people that sign up are going to get this amazing Fanco Wrestling mustache sticker. No matter what tier you sign up, the first 40 people are going to get this sticker. And then I also have these other cool sticker packs by becoming a channel member on Patreon. This is the holographic stop sign sticker, as well as the channel member sticker. So these are just additional perks for becoming a Patreon member. If you do show your support for the channel, I want to give you something in return. You know, this is only for people that are willing and able. These are for the people that want to really support this channel and see it grow to new levels. And to be honest with you, yeah, revenue and money is a part of that. Like, that's just something that is going to happen with a business. As a business that grows, it needs money to grow. I want to bring on different people, but guess what? That takes money. And so Rokfin wasn't the way to go with that. I believe Patreon for me is the better way to go, because guess what? It's not $9.99 a month. It's $1.99. It's $4.99. It's a lot less than that, with additional, more personalized content that I think you're really going to enjoy. And I'm going to keep posting things on YouTube for free for people who can't necessarily afford the Patreon, and that's completely understandable. I'm still going to interact in the comments. I'm still going to give the same amount of attention to YouTube, because you are my core audience, and I really love doing this. I really love making videos for you and interacting with you, and I believe that should be something that's available for free on YouTube. But if you want to pledge additional support for this channel, that's just something that I'm really going to take to heart and really appreciate. I have linked up right now my Patreon right here that you can check out, and go ahead and skim through everything going on with that. I also have another video right here explaining the whole Patreon page, the whole process, exactly what that means and more, so that you can completely understand it. Thank you as always for your support.